to our channel. You guys are back. You're joining us again. We're talking all things Married at First Sight, season 14. I'm Zar. It's my beautiful husband, Joe. Okay? And we are coming through with the come through with a new episode 2 of Married at First Sight. If you have not already, bust down, subscribe to this channel, check out our wedding video. Okay, we got a lot going on. Joe just opened up a merchandise website, right?
Yes.
Where you can purchase like some merch from him. Y'all know my man is a drummer and he be in these streets. So make sure you go and grab something from there. Did you have anything else you wanted to kind of enlighten us about?
We talked about it last week. Make sure you can keep up to date with both of us on our social media pages. She's at Zar Galore. I'm at Joe Connor 33. That's Connor with an E, not an R.
Not an O.
Not an O. Because I am not.
Connor with an E.
C-O-N-N-E-R.
Yeah, we always had that issue.
Yeah, the O is very Irish and we are not.
Unless we're Black Irish.
We
Which,
are also
this
not.
is not none of your business, but Joe's sister did 23andMe or something like that.
Yeah.
And Joe is black.
I'm black. I'm
Joe's
Wakanda
from, Joe and his
like
family, they
this
from Wakanda. Okay?
Yeah, all the way.
There is no, it's nothing else in them but Africans.
Straight up.
So, you know, all of that. But, well, welcome back to our channel. We are talking all things Married at First Sight. I first want to start off because this episode did not give, okay? And the honest thing, if I could be honest, what I really want to sit here and talk about is the tea that we just kind of caught up on with Zach.
Well, we can touch on that at the end.
Okay, you want to touch on that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. My man ain't trying to keep me on track. We keep you on track.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these couples. Not much happened this episode. Everybody looked for suits and dresses. We had 2 people actually get married. Michael and Jasmina. And Elijah and Katina. Yeah. Okay, let's start with Michael and Jasmina. Jasmina was having a panic attack because the real tea is that she did not want to get...
She didn't sign up for this. Let's be honest. She got picked for this, but she didn't sign up for this. And so what happened was the reality of her actually having to go through with the process showed up right before she was about to walk down the aisle. Yeah. And she was a basket case.
I think she was obviously, there is some kind of like, being anxious on your wedding day is relatively normal. Like, let's be clear.
Perfectly normal.
So
she was beyond anxious though.
I agree, because I do think that there was also, like, in the same way that when you get married, like, you're kind of resounding the fact, you might be anxious about the day, but you're not really resounding the fact that you're going to get married. You know what I mean? Right.
Like, hold on to your thought. But I was watching it, just reminiscing about, we had a beautiful day. And my day was mostly amazing outside of the...
And we planned it on our own.
We planned on our own. Outside of the anxiety of the setup. I made the mistake. Well, actually, it turned out it wasn't a mistake. But I went to the venue before I got dressed. And the whole reception hall was wrong. Like, just completely messed up, right? So we did, long story short, we did everything we could to fix it. I was there as long as I could be to avoid without being like hella late to get back, right? Yeah. So I left, but it was because they was dragging me out of there, right? So I had some anxiety and some nervousness before the wedding. It wasn't about her though. It was about the day. Yeah. It was about, is this shit? It was the anxiety about her was like, The anxiety that I had about her was like, if they don't get this shit right, she gonna walk in there and it's gonna be wrong and the day gonna be fucked because she gonna be pissed, right? My anxiety, I had long been resigned to the fact that I was getting married, number one, and of the person who I was getting married to. Now, I understand they have a different level of anxiety about that because they didn't pick this person.
Exactly.
So that is perfectly understandable. She was in a space like somebody kidnapped her and forced her to do this, and she was some type of prisoner of war. Like her whole...
It felt different.
It felt way different than like your normal, like, I'm anxious or I'm nervous about how things are going to go. It didn't feel like none of that. It felt like I already signed up for this and I really want to call a lawyer to see
what
them
is
look
the
like
stipulation
where's
behind
the loophole so I can just bounce and not get sued.
And I think to your point, what I really wanted to round back on is the process, right? Like when you talk or you watch these interviews from these people, they make it clear that the process is months long. You know what I mean? So once you get to the actual day, you've actually been resounded. You kind of had to sit with you that you're getting married to somebody you don't know.
Yes.
At least this is my understanding of it, right?
Yes.
So the assumption could be made at the time you get to the altar. Yes, are all your there is some kind of anxiety behind everything coming to fruition.
Yes.
With whatever it is. With whatever it is. It could be anything, right? So I understand that kind of anxiety. But we're not going to pretend like it didn't feel different. And inversely, when you look at his room and everybody in his room,
it was lit.
It was such a different.
It was a different energy, and that's what made me think about our day because I told her, I said, that's how my room was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she said, there's going to be some built-in anxiety.
Yeah.
But especially if you got good people around you, it was lit. Like, my room was a barbershop before, you know, because her brother was cutting everybody.
Check my brother out. He is the barber in Philly, y'all.
Yes, he is.
The barber, okay? MXL Barbershop. He is the one, Jamal. That's my brother.
Yes.
He's that guy.
And he was in our suite cutting everybody's hair. I mean, motherfuckers that
because he loved me enough just to give away his services for free.
Period. And motherfuckers that wasn't even in the wedding was just like coming by the room like, yo, I heard Maul is here. Can I come here? It was fun. But my point is that was the vibe of Michael's room. Like they was in there, they laughed, they cried, they had a whole thing, but it felt different. Like he was crying in his room too, right? But it was just it was different. But he was
crying for a different reason.
Right.
Like he was really, you know, he had lost both his parents. One, I think, at 13 or 16, his mother at 20. That's really heartbreaking, especially because you're going through these big moments and you don't have that to share with. He felt like as much as supported as I still feel like something is missing.
Yeah.
And that's a heartbreak. That's moving. I don't want to say it's heartbreaking because I'm certain there is some good in that, right? You know what I mean? It just has to be some good in that tragedy. But I do think it was nice to see him around his family and his friends, even though his one friend got on my damn nerves.
But the point is that he went through a myriad of emotions as well, and it felt different.
But you can tell
it didn't feel
he
like
was
somebody
resound.
come save me. You know what I mean?
And he's the baby. And I've been looking at his brother because his brother, and I don't want to say he doesn't have good energy. Maybe he has protective energy and is coming off as defensive. Does that mean, is defensive the right or the offensive?
It could be coming off as offensive to you.
It's coming off as like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, he just don't seem happy for him. And it's like, and I can understand how it could be hard to be.
But some people are, let's just be honest, y'all. Ooh. You can't pick your family. You know, at a certain point in life, you can. You know, you get older enough,
and
you
start
get wise
picking.
enough, and you start picking.
You start doing the choosing.
But you know, technically, you cannot pick your family.
Yeah.
And just because somebody share the same DNA as you does not mean that they share the same happiness for you when you go through certain things in life. And it does not mean that they are 100% rooting for you or that they 100% behind you or that, you know, when good things happen in life, they just as happy as you. It does not mean that. And I think we all have either known somebody or been adjacent to people who just might be family, but low-key hate a little bit. You know what I mean? And his brother also gives me that a little bit.
Okay. And you're right. It's something to that. It's something to that for real. But I did appreciate how beautiful he thought Jasmina was when she walked in the aisle, because she did look absolutely stunning. I appreciated how her vows, I thought her vows were really dope. I was surprised because this sounds bad. And not to say that everybody's personality has to come across when you first meet them, but she doesn't have much of a personality,
I
don't want to say that.
I mean,
without,
it is
but
what it is. That's what it was coming across. Like,
and
obviously we
sometimes,
don't know yet.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what's coming across.
First impression.
Yeah.
Right? First
Yeah.
impression, she doesn't come across like she has much of a personality. But as you get to see them talking, you see that she's layered. She loves everything Korean, which is weird. And also makes me think she would probably like Steve.
Yeah, they're both
because
boring.
once you ingratiate yourself with certain things, you start to like, you're attracted to all things about it. And is it me?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They both boring. He's Asian. I mean,
yeah. Well, he ain't got no job. And she's Jamaican, and that would not be the thing.
Well, how about that? Yeah, Steve gonna have a hard time.
That ain't it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do think. So, do you think that they want to like each other?
I don't, and I say that because I think Michael is much more outgoing and personable than the first couple of episodes show. Like, you know, when they talk to his family, they talk to his friends, they're all like, Michael is low-key the party.
Yeah.
And I think Jasmina is pretty and boring.
I think she's absolutely stunning, and I think that she wants to present as, hear me out, because I'm about to go somewhere and it's about to go weird. I think that she recognizes that she's a beautiful woman, right? Obviously. And I think that she wants to present, I don't know how to say this without it sounding offensive, as more layered than what she is.
Yeah.
Like, I like to, you like K-pop, you like Marvel, like, listen, I get it, and I don't think I'm nearly as beautiful as she is, but I do get, like,
you're way more beautiful.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I think she's a really...
Let's be clear. Yes, Jasmina is cute, but I think people need to pipe it down. Like, everybody calm down. Like, we talk, so, like, it's almost getting to. I think we do the roles thing again. You know, every season where it's like this guy is the party guy. This guy is, and we are. I mean, like, she cute, but calm down. Like, everybody acting like she, you know, Holly or something. Like, she ain't all that. Like,
I think
she all right. I would be. That's a personal thing. Let's go. I would not be like, I wouldn't be like head over heels if I seen her coming down the aisle.
I don't believe that. I do not believe that.
Why?
But I don't know. I don't know why I don't believe that, because I think she's a pretty woman. She's a brown girl. You like, but we're not getting into this.
What am I lying about though? You know, I'm
not
honest.
about to force you to
I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but what I'm getting at, not to litigate her looks, what I'm getting at is that sometimes, and I experienced this, people think that you're one way when they meet you.
Of course, we both have experienced that.
Yeah, for sure, right? So I think most of us have, right? So what I'm getting at, though, is that she is making more of a concerted effort to be like, no, but I'm like I like this and I like that. When reality is like, I get this a lot. Like, I really do get this a lot. Where I'll come off one way and then people meet me and it's like, oh, bitch, you was cool. Like, you know what I mean? Or like, I really know a lot. I know a little bit about everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those people. So I get her wanting to say, like, I'm much more than this, right? But it's feeling, in the moment, it felt
real fake.
Forced.
Yeah, real forced.
And Michael don't watch TV, and I don't trust not near motherfucker who, like, you got to keep up on current events. Like, a little bit of pop culture ain't never hurt nobody. Okay? Like,
but I like to dive more into that. Like, what does that
it might
mean?
be a okay.
Yeah, like, what do you mean you don't, or maybe you watch the internet. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, he could be like this all day.
Yeah, or maybe he watch a bunch of, like, he into, like, you know, internet shows and, like, you know, YouTube shows and stuff like that, you know.
So let's talk about Noi and Steve. Oh, I really want to touch on how Michael's best friend had all that stuff to say at the reception, but nobody asked him.
It was so weird and awkward.
You don't even know her.
Don't do that.
He don't even know her.
But also, I think that was a part of people performing for the cameras.
And it's getting
like, stop.
High
letting
key.
people do that.
High key. This really needs to be Big Brother. Y'all just need to be locked in with cameras. Nobody else should know. It just should be like, you just gotta live your life 24/7 with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because it's feeling super super forced.
Yeah.
It's feeling hella forced.
And people perform, especially like I said, as the seasons go on, you could tell that people put on. Mainly the cast, but that's a whole nother
It's
issue.
very weird. It's very weird. So I want to talk about Noi and Steve because they ain't had nothing going on. Okay? Noi picked out.
And they will never have anything. I mean, if you ask me, like, unless
never.
it's, you know, produced.
They will never.
Unless it's produced drama, they're Steve is, I think they is going nowhere fast. I think, you know, Steve is.
He focused on the family, but not on the unemployment line, and I don't understand it.
And he is, a cardboard box. That's what he gives me. Like, nothing on the inside. You know what I mean?
And he's got to be super deep because it takes a certain kind of human being to live out of a van.
Ain't nothing deep about Steve. Nothing. Nothing is deep about Steve.
Hey, Joe.
They not going to know what you're talking about.
But I think that Steve is fascinating. So is Noi. Nothing happened. They had this forced interaction where they had to talk about like, oh, well, what do you think? Or what are you going to be like when you're a husband and when? And it's just like, it just didn't give nothing. It didn't give anything. Now, they are technically the last people to get married in this episode, but we don't get to see her walk out or anything. And to talk about nervousness, why do you make that face?
Because they going to drag this thing out, y'all. Like,
I'm over it.
We saw one couple get fully married. And then we went
in
to
a
another
3-hour episode.
We went to another couple and they was just going to the bridal shop.
Yes.
Who is at? This is we back to the pandemic team of editing.
You know what?
Why
it is
are we editing
for me?
this like this?
I really want, and I hate to talk about Lifetime like this.
We got to talk about Lifetime.
I think one of the
They don't
biggest
even
issues
update
they
their
really
website.
need, number one, but they really need to talk. They really need to bring us in like for like. We need to talk to them about how they need to do this. First things first. We should be moving with everybody at the same time.
Yes.
Y'all doing this back and forth. Noi just getting a dress. Alyssa bought 117 dresses. This shit
Somebody
is so
else is already on their
convoluted.
honeymoon. Like
what
kind of continuity in the show? Where is it at? Like, I don't
and
get
it's
it.
like, and it's only because they're trying to squeeze as many ad dollars out of these episodes. And the problem I have with it is that it is getting clear. Like, we can see it. It's not like everybody's doing it. Like, don't get it effed up. Everybody's doing it. But when us as the audience can tell, it cheapens the product.
Yeah, it does.
Does that make sense?
Because it feels like it's blatant.
Yes.
I
we do
mean,
not care. We do not care.
Let's move this along, y'all.
It's annoying as hell. As hell. And I'm kind of like, ooh, sorry, I got my eyes itch. Ooh, that felt good. But I'm just like really at the place where this has to get better. I was talking to my sister earlier and she said it's losing some of its authenticity.
It is.
And
that's the problem. You insult the viewer.
Yeah.
And because they can tell you're losing your authenticity. That's the problem. Because you don't want to insult the viewer.
Exactly. So, Noi and Steve, she picked out a really pretty dress. A really, really pretty dress. I really actually like Noi. I'm excited to see this, how they interact because they're both really quiet, but still didn't give much of anything this episode. Let's talk about Alyssa and Chris. Alyssa bought 10. I have severe issues with Alyssa, and I don't know what it is. But I tell y'all all the time.
Her vibe is not, she don't give off a good energy.
Do y'all remember how in the beginning I didn't like Mirla? Do y'all remember that? And then come to find out Mirla wasn't shit?
Yeah.
Because in the pit of my stomach, it be my ancestors talking to me about these people, okay? And when you are a witch like I am, sometimes you gotta tap into those feelings, that energy, okay? I can feel, what did Kendrick say? I can feel your energy from 2 planets away. That's me, okay? That's why I'm able to be like, watch this and say, I do not like this human. Like, I don't know what it is about her that I find, like, I do not think she's a good human being. I don't give a fuck how many animals she saved. She could save every animal on the planet. She still wouldn't be a good human being. It's something about her spirit that gives so much privilege that it reeks of Jim Crow. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting in?
I can't get with Alyssa. You know, her vibe is just really weird. She's like doing this. Like her. She's doing this like I'm a cool pop country girl type thing. Like, I don't know what that's about. That's pretty weird. She
don't want to work.
Air about her. She don't want to work, but
she wants you to pay all the bills. Which, let me tell you something. I'm a woman who wants somebody to pay all the bills too. Like, don't get it jaked up. But I do think that I wouldn't go into a show like this not knowing who my spouse is going to be, wanting to meet Daddy Warbucks.
Right.
You doing this for the wrong fucking reasons. Yeah. And they stupid because they should have never picked your fucking ass. Yeah. And if we being honest, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like Chris is one of my favorite people on the show.
Chris is the most likable person on the show.
And I don't want to say like he's one of my favorite people. I'm talking specifically to the show and where we are in the show right now.
To me, Chris is maybe
grounded.
Maybe the only person on the show outside of Michael who is like isn't hard to like. Everybody else right now I find it's a little bit difficult that like I can't get with them. But Chris is cool.
Which means to me is that they are picking superlatively polarizing personalities. If you look back into time, right, you could almost relate to every single person going through this process. Some part of you has been through something that they've been through. You feel for them. You have like, you know what I mean? There's like this cloud of empathy. And then as we're moving through seasons, I'm losing more, like just a little piece of a piece of a piece of a piece of that. And
that's the authenticity, though.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like we're here, and I'm like,
when you were seeing real people, you were easily relating to them. And now when they start going out and handpicking people, you know what I mean, from the DMs, it starts to lose some authenticity when they overproduce stuff. It starts to lose the authenticity. You know what I mean? So
it kind of like messes it up. But what do y'all think about a person who buys 10 wedding dresses? I thought that was odd.
It's weird.
I thought that was odd. So you knew that you were going to a wedding salon, okay, a bridal boutique to get a dress, and you preemptively purchased 10. Now, if you know anything about wedding dresses like this girl right here, you know that they almost never give you your money back. I mean, he would have had to die. You know what I mean? Like, called off the wedding, something crazy for you to get your money back from a wedding dress, especially if you bought it right off the rack. Because in my eyes, if you only had 2 weeks to get this wedding together, whatever the case may be, you're not ordering a dress. Dress takes 6 months to come. Like, you literally...
Right, so what, you just went online and just was checking?
Girl, stop. First of all, get out of here with these Fashion Nova fashions. Okay? Which, I love Fashion Nova. But I'm just saying, not for my wedding day.
Yeah.
I just feel like she's just trying to give us a persona that is like...
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yes!
She putting on. And I think that's maybe why we can't get with her. Like
because I don't like fake shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like
she gives me real fake. Because she, even with the whole like country thing, she keep pushing this country thing.
Oh, he needs to be country. I need to be country.
Like,
we need to be country.
You live in Boston. Hey, I went to school in Boston. Trust me, there's nothing country about it. You didn't grow up country. Like find the country on the map, sis. What do you mean? So I think that's what it is.
Giving Jim Crow.
It's real,
giving Jim Crow.
And it's real fake. It's real fake and phony. And I think that's why we can't get with her, because she's giving us like a fake and phony air.
And I don't like it. And I don't like her. And she would have to literally, I don't even know what she would have to do. She would have to become Tony Stark, save us from Thanos, for me to actually be like, this is a good person. And if y'all didn't know, that was a Marvel reference.
Jasmina.
Because I love Marvel. Okay. I get her. But let's talk about this bitch Lindsay and Mark.
Ooh, Lindsay
really thinks she cuter than what she is, y'all.
Oh, absolutely, 1,000, and funnier than what she is,
and a better person than what she is. Her father made it very clear you're not a good human being.
They
do not like her, bro. They do not like her.
They made it very obvious, like, we not really messing with you like that.
But did you see how he kissed her though?
No.
He did this. He did.
Ooh.
I don't even want to put my lips on your lips like that. You my man.
If I understand, like, because that is...
He did.
It's nothing worse than a sloppy kisser.
Why would you open your mouth and put your mouth on somebody else's
You know
mouth?
why he would do that? Because how many people have Mark seriously kissed? Let's throw out a number.
I think Mark is tricking bread.
How many people, the question was, because you can
Okay.
quote unquote trick bread and never touch a woman, right? And there's a lot of simps out here that's doing it. So let's be clear. How many girls has Mark kissed in his adult life?
No, I do think.
How many?
And you know what?
4?
I'm about to tell
3?
y'all my business. I think.
No, I'm saying throw out a number.
No, I'm not doing that to Mark. I like Mark.
No, I like Mark too, but
I'm not even doing that. Mark is Mark the Shark for a reason.
But like you made a good point that they call him Mark the Shark
Because he's a fucking
They're not
predator.
laughing with him.
They're laughing at him.
So
It's
that's
not-
what
it's
I
not
mean.
up for
That's
debate.
what I mean. Like
Which makes me sad
3
too,
girls.
because I like Mark.
Yeah, Mark is likable.
I like
Kinda.
Mark. Something about him. I have this thing with all people, whether you're Mexican, white, Indian, like anything, right? If you show up authentically as yourself, I can connect with that.
And that's what Mark is. That's why he's likable.
That's why he's likable to me, because I genuinely feel like he's just being himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hopeless romantic. You know what I mean? He's excited about love. I really get that from him. So, despite the fact that I do think his friends are laughing at him,
I do think they are.
I like him. I like him. His mama don't like him. Why would his
That
mom?
was so weird.
But you know what though? I bet you if you stop going to visit that bitch, she start acting right. Don't go to that bitch, wherever that bitch at for a week or 2. I bet you she'd be like, "Hey Mark, how you doing?" She gonna answer the phone on his wedding day. What?
Oh, I'm getting married, man. Oh, all right.
Well, why are you doing that? What she asked him? Why couldn't you do it the regular way?
But-
Shut your ass up.
Yeah,
My thing is, y'all, what we gotta do, and I'm really a proponent of this. I tell people all the time, 8 to 80, blind, crippled, and crazy. I don't give a fuck who you are. You say something to me I don't like, I won't get you right together. Okay? I do not care. I do not care. Because respect is due a dog. And I feel bad for Mark because what's clear to me is that Mark is lacking love, period.
Yes. Yeah. Which
He's
is why he
lacking
waited
affection.
5 years to apply for the same show that he didn't get years prior.
But also that says a lot about his personality, because some people would take that rejection and go away. So it says a lot about him that rejection is not something that, great people feel like rejection is just a stepping, like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because if it's for me, it'll be for me. I don't give a fuck. Nothing will stand in my way. So I appreciate that about his personality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's twofold though, because it's like it's part admirable and also part red flaggish. Like,
I mean, but
so
if
you
we're
were
being
just, like,
honest,
sitting on your hands for 5 years, like wait till it come around again, I'm gonna apply. Like,
Or maybe
were you actively trying to cultivate a relationship, or did you just you know what I mean?
Okay, so I think he was actively trying to cultivate a relationship, but
Where on the pier being Mark the Shark?
But hear me out. I think he told himself, if this comes around and I'm single, I'm gonna apply again.
No, I don't think he did that.
I absolutely think he did.
But that's because she does this, y'all. Y'all can go back through the Rolodex. When Zar likes somebody, she will overly cape for them to the point of no objectivity.
But what do that say about my personality? I'm gonna hold you down.
Yes,
right, wrong, or
of course,
indifferent.
of
Okay,
course.
that's just who I am. So
It's
I'm gonna
nothing-
defend your right to be wrong.
It's nothing.
All that.
Listen, it's the reason why we're
You right.
together to this day.
Damn right.
So,
Because I hold you to damn.
That's right. I'm just giving y'all some insight, because it's Mark's personality does not give me no bit of like, I'm gonna go out here and do my thing. And then Mark's personality is he sat and watched the calendar for 5 years. Like that's what he gives me. Like,
well, he is a cat person.
that's what he get. That's what he gives me.
He is a cat person.
Like he gives me not that he is bad in relationships, but that he scares people away.
I think that sometimes intensity can scare people away, and I do think he's intense, and I think that sometimes. But let me say this. This is crazy. I wonder what kind of women he was trying to date, because I think if he was trying to date younger women, his intensity would be scary. But I think if he was trying to date women his age, he would find that they might be on the same wavelength as him when it comes to being in a relationship.
I think we're gonna find out, because I feel like they are gonna open this box.
But what I do like is that he said she got a lot of energy. Okay.
She's scaring him off. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
He's like, whoa. He's like, whoa.
He said, she got a lot of energy. Okay? Like, this bitch got a lot going on. Then she tells this lie. This is another reason why I don't like Lindsay. She gonna lie and say, I find him incredibly attractive. But then on the thing, the after show, she was like, I just thought,
Yeah, she definitely did.
I do not like that. Like, be honest.
Like, what do you have, a split personality?
It's obvious she does. It's obvious that the mother is not talking to her because of something she did. Because the mother is talking to the brother. Because the brother was out there trying to, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and it goes back to the point of let this be definitely a cornerstone in this theory of when the family finds out and they are not excited, that has to tell you something about the person.
That's because they know they didn't make a good person, and they feeling bad because they about to put this monster out into the universe to go fucking inflict hell on somebody else.
Or they feel like you don't know what the fuck you doing in life, period.
The dad said she says things, she's nasty. She says whatever she wants to out her mouth. But then the dad said, did y'all hear the dad say, do you go gator hunting? I think he was trying to say, like, she's a gator. So if you don't have the balls to hunt alligators, you'll never be able to hang with this bitch.
I don't know what the dad was talking about.
He was making a fucking...
Y'all live in Boston, so you ain't going gator hunting nowhere up there.
But that's why I don't think it had anything to do with gator hunting and everything to do with her and her personality.
She had to get her weird ass personality from somewhere, and it
might be her mama. Because the dad is chill as hell.
It's probably both of them. The dad probably a bit of a weirdo too.
Well, it's very clear the dad is a bit of a weirdo, but not in a weird way. In a dad way, he gives weird, but not to me in a way that's red flaggy. Like, obviously, something had to happen that they created this human being, and the son is just like the dad. It's very odd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the clip that we got, first impressions. Because
Yeah.
I don't want y'all to go through. Ooh, look, y'all, I'm sweating. Make sure you cut that out. I don't want y'all to go through like this, like, whole thing. You know what I mean? About like, oh no, you know what you're talking about. Wait. I don't know. We don't know what the fuck we talking about. We just talking. Let's talk about Katina and Elijah. Elijah stresses me out. I don't think I've been having dreams about Elijah, but more about not like that. More about like who Elijah is. Okay, are you picking up what I'm putting down? I feel like he is on a journey of self-discovery, and for real, this man didn't even give people his real name. Yo, it's got to be something mentally up with you where you doing such dirty dog shit that you don't even give people your real name. And I've been thinking about that.
He was in college, like, you know.
That's no excuse.
I've seen men do way.
And that does not, but I would say the same thing.
Like we talked about in the last episode, when people evolve from a lot of things that they did when they was in college, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? So
Elijah told a bitch his name was Isaac last motherfucking week, and do not try and pretend like he didn't.
Now, if you saying that, that's different. But
don't try to
for him to say like I was in college doing dumb stuff, like who wasn't in college doing dumb stuff?
Do you know what kind of human being you have to be to create a personality and lean into that?
He didn't say he created them. He just said he just said he told girls a different name.
Literally, they talk about Isaac like he's another person.
Right, because Isaac...
that's another personality.
Listen, babe, because they're saying Isaac was a player. Not like he was American Psycho.
But Isaac is not his name. Elijah is
I know, babe.
So if you're speaking about Isaac, like Isaac is a person, guess what that now means? He has a personality. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, babe. I'm saying that they weren't saying it in the sense that he was American Psycho. They're saying it in the sense of he was a player. This is the husband. This is the husband version.
Wait a minute. What I'm getting at is that it does not have to be American Psycho. Like, I'm not saying, first of all, mental health is a spectrum. American Psycho is on the one end of the spectrum, right? What I'm getting at is that it takes a certain kind of human being. And I'm not talking about you meet a man in the street, you don't want to give him your real name. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to go through a situation with somebody, sleep with somebody, do all these things with somebody, but not tell them your real name. That's weird. there's something mentally like it's some sort of manipulation or whatever you feel like you need to do to get to a certain space, and that's something that needs to be talked about. That's all I'm speaking to. I'm not saying he American Psycho, but I'm saying that if we're trying to sit here and make a case that Elijah Wan is not emotionally immature, and I could tell that from 2 seconds that he'd been on the goddamn screen, you're crazy.
Well, I don't think anybody was arguing that he wasn't emotionally immature. My comment was just that he was talking about college days. I think if we analyze everybody's,
no, and I don't want to do
college,
that.
We can go down a rabbit hole. You know what I mean?
That's I don't want to do that. But
I was just saying, like, let's not make a mountain out of a molehill in people's college
But
days.
the way that his family talks, his sister-in-law was the same thing. Like, those player days are going to have to end. Nobody would say that to you if you weren't in that era. Nobody would. Am I right or wrong? Absolutely. Nobody would have to say that to you if you were if you was living in a life like, listen, I've been trying to date people, I've been living online.
Well, that's not. I mean, that's not.
And that's not an indictment.
I don't think that's a controversial statement because, by his own admission, he said he used to be in the life. But
what I'm saying is, if right now in this life, you feel like you can still go out and tell people, the fact that he can say right now, oh, I got to put Isaac to bed. That means that's how you still show up in the world. You would not say that if you did not still show up in the world like that.
And I said the same thing about Katina last week when she said, I gotta stop. That's why I said they're the same person. When she said, well, I got
a theory about Katina. So we watched the ceremony.
Yeah.
Actually, a beautiful ceremony. I was glad that he was super attracted to her. He thought she was really beautiful. And she gave absolutely nothing.
Well, she typically does to me.
First impressions.
First impressions, she gives me that.
It was so, I don't want to say it was awkward. It was disconcerting. The problem is that along with a therapist, people need relationship coaches. Like, they don't just need a therapist, they need relationship coaches. Because the reality is
they have them on the show and they just aren't active. And that's what we talked about last season, about how they should be more active during the season. They should be having more frequent meetups, more sessions to walk. They should be holding their hands walking through this process, because any type of newlywed situation is going to take adjustments. It's going to be bumpy at first. But imagine being married to somebody who you don't even know. And imagine being married to them and you were never engaged. Right?
Our first couple months wasn't that bad, though.
Right. But that's but I'm saying, imagine, most people do their first couples counseling while being engaged, right? Yeah. So imagine now being a full-blown husband and a full-blown wife, and you never went through an engagement, right? They need to be more, a part of this process.
I think you're absolutely right. But I would go a step further and say, as these people are going through this process to be picked, y'all should be putting them through extensive relationship counseling. And when I mean relationship counseling, I mean that women show up, and I don't want to say women, people show up a certain way with their cohort, okay? So if I'm a woman, the way I speak around women may be different than the way I speak around men. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Katina just meeting this man, because if you just meet anybody, right, you still give a certain amount of your personality.
Yes.
Anybody, right? You could be at the bar, you could be in a jacuzzi, you could be at the pool. Like, you still give a little bit of your personality. She is fascinating because she doesn't give anything. And I felt, it's weird because I had such not a judgment, but I felt a way about Elijah Wan. But to see him show up trying to fill the space.
Yeah.
Was fat. It was uncomfortable.
Because Katina gives me.
You keep hitting the thing.
I'm sorry. Katina gives me. She's either the party girl or she's nothing, right? She either sloppy standing on the table or she's boring and she's not giving anything. That's what she gives me, and I think the party girl side of her is very similar to whatever life Elijah Wan used to be in.
Except for he's the light.
Which is probably part of they kind of talked about it, why they put them together. They thought Because, you know, they even...
I do think they would get each other.
It's even built in their roles, right? When they put the little thing on there, it's like, she's the girl, she's the party girl
no more. Or
yeah, he's like the player no more. Yeah. I mean, they're the same person. So I guess that's what the experts were kind of leaning into. Yeah. But I think personality-wise, it might be a clash because he doesn't need to be drunk or at a party to be buzzing he gives me like I'm enjoying the light regardless whether I'm lit or not, right?
I agree. And I think it's something to that. But what I did like is that when they were like introducing the couples during the ceremony, they said that Elijah wants somebody who's able to cook dinner, whatever the case may be, and she made the face like, I ain't gonna be able to do that.
Because she clearly can't, because the party girls ain't the cooks.
And he said, we'll figure it out together. And to me, that said a lot.
Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, mark my words. I told y'all, remember this, play this tape back.
Don't say nothing.
Listen to me, babe. Listen. I told y'all, I said Elijah reminds me a lot of Woody. Right? We said this. Woody had the same introduction. Okay. His whole family said Woody from the streets. Mm-hmm. Woody is this. Woody. It's the same story. Woody. Now you love Woody.
I wasn't with him in the beginning. I wasn't. So I didn't dislike him, but I just don't like the party. I don't get that.
But I'm saying the same thing. Like listen. When I was a child, I acted as a child. When I became a man, I put away all childish things. I'm gonna give y'all the scripture because I wear white because I'm holy, right? So I'm saying to y'all that give Elijah the same chances that we gave Woody, because some of y'all was ready to cancel Woody for the same reason. Everybody saying Woody is like, we was in college. We all did dumb shit in college. Everybody did. So if we sit and analyze people's college life, we wouldn't give nobody the time.
But I think you're calling it college and they're not.
Because he said it. Well, because
he's speaking in present tense.
Right.
Let's be clear.
I'm saying I was speaking to the Isaac thing. He said that it was a college thing.
But he did say in present tense that he needs to put. We got to listen to what people say.
Did she. So,
no, but we got to listen to what people say. Because what he said in present tense, and I'm talking to all the ladies out here, y'all got to listen to what people say. In present tense, he said, I'm going to have to put Isaac to bed. Which means what? Isaac is awake somewhere, bitch. He out there in the world.
They both said it.
I'm not. No, Katina said that she went through
Katina said, I have to check myself and tell me put old Katina. She said the same thing. She said the same exact thing, y'all.
But the difference is that I'm certain Katina is telling people Katina is her name.
I'm not certain. Why are we certain about that?
I'm saying
Katina for the streets like Isaac. I mean, like Isaac.
See what I mean?
Because they both for the streets.
Let's move on. Another thing I didn't like was that Elijah didn't write down his vows.
But he did good.
He did good, but I also think there's some intentionality about, and maybe some people aren't good at writing things down or whatever.
Well, there was intention because you could tell he memorized that. That wasn't off the dome. That's why it's almost more impressive when you're not reading and because you could tell he rehearsed it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll give him that. So what do y'all think about Katina and Elijah?
They bound to drizzle. Got it in. Ha! I ain't even need a setup.
What do you
Yo, Katina and Elijah is the same person. We're not going to act like they're not, so we can move on from them. They the same person.
Y'all want to spoil it?
Babe, yes, let's say spoiler.
And this might not be a spoiler for everybody, but I've been doing some deep dives. I've been looking on all the socials, doing all the thing, and word on the street is that one couple doesn't go past 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But let's do this. Let's make predictions in the comments on who that couple is. And we'll circle back.
And we'll circle back. And we'll talk about it. We'll chit-chat about it. I don't got nothing else to say. I think we kind of covered everything. It wasn't really an eventful episode. So if you're watching this and didn't watch the episode, baby, we gave you everything that happened. Promise. Okay? And we being honest. Only thing we didn't do was describe their dresses.
Yo,
but
they're just dragging this joint out. Like,
and I'm over it. Like, let's get to the fucking honeymoons at this point because these episodes is way too long for y'all to be dragging this shit.
They way too long for nothing to actually be happening.
Saying.
Like they're trying to input these little dramatic moments and stuff like that.
It ain't
and
enough.
It's like y'all could have just made the wedding episode an episode. Like everybody gets married today in these 5 hours of this episode, right? Everybody gets married today. And then we move on to the honeymoon. Like, let's get to the meat and potatoes of them living their life together. Because y'all already had 10 pre-shows. It's like a selection show, and then it's like a meet the couple show, and then it's like meet the expert show. And then, how many motherfuckers we gotta meet before we actually just get into episode 1?
You're absolutely right, honey. It's not even funny. It's really, you're absolutely spot on. And at this point, we already know what the fuck is going to happen. So let's just move on. Like, we already know they all get married. Move on. I'm just at the point where, like, let's get Steve and Noy and Alyssa and Chris. They saving Alyssa and Chris because Alyssa about to do something crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They literally do it, y'all, in order of theatrics.
Yeah, true.
We thought Lindsay was bad. Whatever Alyssa about to do is even worse. And the real tea is that as much as Lindsay gets on my nerves because I think she is trashy, okay? And it's weird because her and I will probably be friends, but I still find her trashy, is that I think she's spot on about Alyssa.
Because Lindsay has a tinge of that.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
And Lindsay, as messy as herself is, she does show up as herself. That's why she was in the confessional, like, who is Alyssa? I don't know. She's not here. Like, you know what I mean?
Which I think is also authentic, even though I do think she has times where she lies, but I do think it was authentic.
Well, that was weird. That was very weird.
What?
How she said, like, I'm
Oh,
gonna try to get that was. But that,
But
you know what that is?
drunk.
Saving face. Yeah, she was drunk. Yeah.
She was also drunk. But we were talking about her showing up.
As herself.
Damn, I forgot what I was about to say.
When she was talking about Alyssa at the bar.
I appreciated that moment because we all do not like each other.
And that's real.
And that is authentic.
Even if it changes.
And I'm one of those people who, I'm one of those people who, I'm very discerning. I could be in a group full of people and be like, I don't like that bitch.
No, right. I'm saying even if it changes over time.
No,
right
no,
now,
you
know what
no,
I mean?
you're right. I was just thinking like, I was going to say, well, maybe no, like people aren't like that. And then I was like, because I was trying to be nice. But the reality is sometimes you meet people and your energy just don't vibe.
Yeah.
And I think that she got a lot of energy.
And she could.
And Alyssa is an elitist.
Alyssa's definitely a Trump supporter. This is not up for debate.
It's not up for debate. And to me, that's how I gauge good or bad people. So
Period.
If you're on here and you're a Trump supporter, I think you're a bad human being. Period. Literally said that to one of my friends to his face. Did I not? Mm-hmm. I do think you're a bad person because you're like, what do you mean? Like, but I'm honest, okay? So I'm so glad that you guys joined us. Do not get down in the comments about your political preferences because I do not care. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. We did a lot of talking today. It was fun. We're going to try and get this up as soon as possible. I'm going to cook some dinner and hopefully Joe can get this up. And we'll see you beautiful mother jumpers later.
Peace.